Welcome back to another Artist Spotlight. I'm Joe Foy, and today I am joined by Dan Davis.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Awesome. Doing good.
That's great. So I'm going to just dive right into, instead of talking about yourself, I want to talk about what you're doing currently, because you're directing a musical with Watertown Lyric Theater. Is that correct?
I am directing Newsies, which is the Disney Newsy version for Watertown Lyric Theater. People might have seen it on Disney Plus. There is a video of the Broadway show, but we're directing it, and we have a phenomenal cast. They are awesome. The kids have been working since August with the choreographers, and they're doing amazing steps similar to those that are on the Broadway styled version. And couldn't be more prouder. It's going to be a great show for people, and it's awesome. I don't know if anybody really knows about the show. It's based on the real newsboy strike of 1899. There are a couple of real characters, Pulitzer, which is the Pulitzer Prize, and Jack is a real character.
Now, I was familiar with the last show that I think I saw that you did, and maybe I'm wrong here, but it was Matilda.
Yes.
And you tend to direct a lot of shows that have kids in them.
Yes, I do. And some of the people that are, backstage are going, are you nuts? But I think it's great. I mean, I've had a cast of, I think the last one I did was like probably close to 70 kids or 70 people, but a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I just enjoy working with the kids, and they bring in their aunts and uncles and grandmas, and they fill the seats, and people love to watch them, and it's great for me.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, it's not just kids; it's kids and adults.
Oh yes, definitely adults.
And sometimes they mix together. I'm sure sometimes it's a little bit harder, but at the end of the day, the final product, at least when I saw Matilda was amazing in my opinion. Even though I was sitting in the pit man, I could only see half of it. But it's just, those are just really fun shows. It's fun to watch the kids interact with the adults and it all come together into one thing. So
it is.
When is Newsies going to be again? You might have already said it, but let's say.
Newsies is October 26th, 27th, and 28th
Okay.
at the State Office Building in Watertown.
Gotcha. And does it start at like 7 or?
It starts at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
We normally have matinee, but this year we are not having matinee on Saturday. It's just the evening of the 26th, 27th, 28th.
Okay, perfect. And how can people get tickets to that?
They will be available probably in the middle of October. I don't know if they're doing them actually at Kinney's this year or not. If not, they'll be available through cast members.
Okay.
And at the door.
Perfect.
The calling.
Yep. And so now I want to talk just a little bit about yourself, if you're all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're kind of going backwards from what I usually do, but I like this order. So, how did you get into the performance? Well, first of all, where did you grow up? Did you grow up around this area?
I was born in Watertown,
Yep.
but my father was a pharmacist / manager for Kinney's at the time, and they sent their managers all around. So I started kindergarten out in Gouverneur, and then from there we went to different towns, and then I eventually ended up back in Watertown in my 6th grade. So I went from 6th grade to 12th grade through Watertown High School, and then after the high school, I decided I wanted to earn a little bit of money, so I worked for about a year, and then after that I went to New York City and attended the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, which is called AMDA for short, in New York City on 73rd and Broadway. Did that for 2 years, graduated from there, and then tried to go out to Florida and do the dinner theater circuit. And breaking into show business is hard, So at the time I got a little discouraged, so I came home, and then once I got home, I met the love of my life, and of course, was bitten by the love bug, and I ended up staying here and working various jobs. My wife and I, at one point, owned an adult home, assisted living type home for 10 years. We ran that, and then I went back to college in a later life and got my teacher's assistant certification, and that's where I've kind of been since then, working with kids with disabilities mostly, and one-on-one and things like that.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
How did you like when you were you said it was like 2 years in New York City, right?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you like that time experience?
That was great. It was, at the time I was like, like the little fish, big fish from a little pond, or I don't know what that expression is or whatever, but I was small town and going there, and it was good. I mean, it was a little scary for me at first, but then, by the middle of the first year it was great because I had friends, and they took me around and showed me around and stuff like that. And then at school, I got to know some of the teachers, and of course you did projects with the school at nighttime and things like that. So it was really good adventure, education, that's for sure.
Yeah,
got to see a lot of things.
What made you start directing with Watertown Lyric Theater?
I enjoy my very first show that I saw with Lyric was when I was in junior high, and I think it was Fiddler on the Roof. And after that, I been involved with Lyric Theater for 50 years. Wow. 50 years. I'm a lifetime member. That's a little green card that you get that says old. So, but I'm a lifetime member, and just in that whole time of being with it, I saw the great directors like Ed Rubel and Joan Jones and Mr. Flynn and those people, and they just inspired me to do that. It's like, oh wow, I want to my vision, I want to do that, what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how I do acting and working backstage and everything, and all the facets. I just got an interest in the directing part. So,
yeah, that's great. And it's, even though you're not necessarily doing it as an occupation, it's like it's great to have you doing it here, honestly.
Well, thank you.
You're a very great personality to work with.
Thank you. I really like doing it because it's like, and then of course, like, green card, old, I'm you age out of parts, and then it's like, oh, I wanted to be in the show. So that's the kind of show that I do. It's like, okay, I'm doing this show. I want to be in this show, but I'm going to direct it. So.
Right. Yep. But then you get to age through each of the parts, kind of too, right?
Yeah.
You got to play. Oh gosh, Little Shop of Horrors. What was your character's name?
Oh, yeah, you had to say Mushnick.
Mushnick, yes.
Mushnick and Son, yes.
Yes, you were hilarious as that character.
Thank you.
I
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But another thing is, like, when a lot of people say, it's like, oh, we're going to do it, Dan Davis production. It's the Dan Davis production, but it's not all me. Mm-hmm. It's, I'm smart enough to surround myself with the right people.
Yeah.
Like right now with Newsies, my right-hand man is Kyle Amell, and my music person is Tisha Amell. So it's like, okay, I got that covered. So, I mean, they're just great. And then I have amazing choreographers, and all the, my wife is the production manager, so I kind of have to toe the line there. But I just have a lot of great people. I surround myself with the right people, and, it's turns out really good. My vision, they help with my vision.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Well, so if you want to find out where, and we'll post some links to how to get and find the show and everything mm-hmm. like that, and when the times are. So look at the article and everything where you find this video. But Dan Davis, thank you for being our artist spotlight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.